What's up, everyone? Welcome to Quarantine WOD. This is like week 4 or something like that. So we rented out some equipment, so now you should see in Sugar WOD there's several tracks. All right, here's how it's going to work. The workouts are in different phases. So you've got your warm-up, you've got your build, you've got your WOD, and then you've got your cool down. So really right now this week, the only thing truly changing is going to be that WOD portion, unless you're on some individual programming from a coach. All right, so that's how it's going to work. And then if you are on individual programming or you're doing a variant of the build that's utilizing your item, basically the way it works is the first 30 minutes is warm up and build. The last 30 minutes is WOD and cool down. Okay, so that's your hour of the day. So that's how it works. So basically you should be able to get everything done in the first 30 minutes. Day 1, Monday. This is what we're working on today. We got a posterior chain pump today. So warm up, you're going to start with 3 rounds, 10 glute bridges, 5 inchworms, and a 30-second face-up Chinese plank. All right, the glute bridges are all to make sure that your glutes are getting activated. So make sure that you're really focusing on making that mind and muscle connection to the glutes. Then you go into your inchworms, which is all about trying to load those hamstrings under tension and under more of a functional pattern. And then you go to the 30-second face-up Chinese plank, which is going to contract that hamstring a little bit and activate that more. All right, and the glutes and the lower back. So you should be ready for all that posterior chain to take some load. Going into the build phase. In the build phase, you're doing 3 rounds, 10 shovel deadlifts. All right, shovel deadlifts means there's more weight on one side, and your core has to accommodate for that. All right, so if you're using a shovel like in the Quarantine WOD videos, then weight that shovel by scooping something into it. All right. If you're using a barbell, only load one side. Try not to exceed more than like 15 pounds extra on one side, because then it gets a little awkward, I find. So basically, if you're going to go heavier and you have the weights to do so, let's say you have 135 or you have 245s on the bar, you just add 10 pounds to one side, and that gives you a shovel deadlift feel. All right. After you do 10 shovel deadlifts with the weight loaded more on the right side, you're going to go into a 30-second glute bridge shuffle. Fight to keep your hips high while you're alternating which leg is stabilizing you. All right. Then you go into your 10 shovel deadlifts on the left side into your glute bridge shuffle, and that completes 1 round. So once you've done both sides of the shovel deadlift and 2 or a full minute of the glute bridge shuffle, then you have done a single round, you go into the next round. It's not for time or anything like that, so make sure it's all about quality. Rest at the end of each round if you need to. Then you go into butt lift, which is 16 minutes for the Quarantine WOD where you're doing just body weight, but it's 12 minutes for anybody adding load to this. Reason for that difference in time is because it will tear your muscle fibers a bit more, so we're trying to mitigate how much damage you do. We're trying to find that sweet spot. So 16 minutes for body weight, 12 minutes for anything loaded, and you do 10 lunges, 10 deadlifts, and 40 double unders. With the lunges, you could do a stationary reverse lunge, you could do walking lunges, I don't really care, but it's 5 per side, basically. With the deadlifts, what we're going for there, if you are using the body weight version stuff, just grab a backpack and deadlift your backpack, right? You just need something to kind of front load you a little bit. All right, make sure your spine's staying really neutral and you guys are working on keeping those hamstrings engaged throughout the movement. Then for the double unders, for those that don't have a place to jump rope or they don't have a jump rope, you can do plate hops in place of this. With the plate hop, make sure you're using something thin. Right? It does not need to be thick. It's not about the height. It's just about that rhythm and repetition. Okay? You should be bouncing back and forth for 40 total reps. All right? Then you go into your cool down today. There's going to be 10 box step-ups or chair step-ups, whatever element you need to use. Try to make it about knee height if you can, if you have that option. After 5 per side of that, you go into 10 calf raise eccentrics. All right? Calf raise eccentrics are meant to be a very slow lower. You should feel like you're getting a deep stretch as you reach into the bottom nice and slow and then come to the top. 10 reps should take you a full minute to do. All right. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments, reach out, whatever. Hashtag coronavirus. Have a great start to your week.